Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bring It to the Table. I tell you, it has been a week. It's been a great week.
Am I in this?
Been a wonderful week. Oh my gosh, yes you are.
Are
B
you
to the
filming
R to the
yourself?
Oh,
YON. Yeah, yes,
oh,
yes.
You're so vain.
I
I
bet
bet
you
you
think
think
this
this
song
part
is
is
about
about
yes.
you.
So I tell you, it has been an amazing week. Yesterday, you know, it's just been an amazing week. How you guys' week been? And I'm talking about from last week up until now. You know how Gene always says, "Well, the week just got started."
Let's get started.
How was
Shit.
your week up until now?
It's feel like it's been a week, definitely. Between Mercury being in retrograde today
Oh gosh, yes it is.
and acne and all of
acne.
acne. I get acne sometimes.
You still acting like you got
You
premature shit going on?
No, I do, because I'm a young motherfucker.
Just you saying young motherfucker just passes the age bracket of young and shit.
No, nope. 21-year-olds say young motherfucker. Period. Disclaimer. While we're at it,
Go
using
ahead and tell the
word
people about they
motherfucker,
cheering.
put your cheering and your grand people up.
Your grand
Your
people.
grand people. You know, the ones that don't like to hear motherfucker and the ones that shouldn't hear motherfucker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Grand Master. I was like, put the Grand Master up. Shit.
No. Run him over. I'm talking about put the grand people up.
Well,
There'll be a
look,
little profanity and stuff. So come on.
I have this funny thing to tell y'all. So I'm glad we do this disclaimer. But what's funny, my speech pathologist, she she said she just tuned in one day. And she was, just watching us, and we were talking about something. And her son came in, and we were on the subject of pussy.
Ooh,
And her 12-year-old son came in, and she immediately tried to mute it and tried to put it. And he was like, "What's wrong? Was that CJ?" And she was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Do you not like CJ anymore? Do you not want to see what he's doing anymore?" She's like, "No. It was just something that I thought. I thought she was." He was like, "But mom, you tried to hurry up and close CJ. We love CJ, right?" And I was like, I thought that was the funniest thing. The funniest thing. So in case y'all are wondering, B right here is eating oxtails, and I am very envious right now because I would love some oxtails.
They said it is the greatest practice for eating pussy. Y'all,
Thank you. CJ, are you sitting on a high chair? Like, why the hell
No, I don't know why I'm looking up. So maybe because I'm sitting straight up now. I'm practicing this posture
you look
because
like
my
you're sitting on
abs.
damn phone books.
No, I've been really working out lately, and so my abs are contracting, and it's forcing me to sit up straight now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm trying to lose another 20 more pounds so I can do this photo shoot thing that I'm doing.
Well, all
So,
right then.
Yeah, and Tanya, if you watching, oh look, we're gonna get Tanya on the show. We're supposed to do it this week. We're gonna get Tanya on the show. So I got to go back to Tanya in a couple of weeks and get all this great stuff done again. And
Are you gonna color your beard too?
No,
Yeah.
I actually like this. I like this gray.
Okay.
No, I'm not Byron. I'm not gonna color it. What I do is I cut it very low, so you can't tell what color it is.
Do you like lamb chops?
Lamb chops.
I love lamb chops.
I don't like the gamey taste.
You need to eat at Luca.
Oh no, we had it at Luca. And it was very, very good. But damn, you eating oxtails and lamb chops? Well, hell, what a deer at? You eating the whole damn forest. Where the rabbit? Hell, where the squirrel?
Squirrel. Might as well. Hansel and Gretel. Throw them in there too.
So look, I want to just dump right into it. Landlords today are going ahead and they're deciding that they're going to start evicting people. And I think this is it's awful. They're going to start the eviction process despite the some people have not gone back to work. Some people still have not received their unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you landlords are thinking, because you're still getting a percentage of your mortgage taken off if you do have a mortgage on that apartment building. So you're receiving government help. Why are you not extending the olive branch to your tenants? What say you both?
What if you are a landlord who also has not gone back to work and has not received unemployment, and you have a mortgage on your home and your rental property? And although you're getting a percentage taken off of both of them or multiple properties, especially if you have 3 or 4 properties as a rental owner, as somebody who owns rental properties, and nobody's paying you, and you have your own mortgage to pay. And if your renters don't pay you, or you don't replace them with renters that can pay you, you lose all your properties. What about you?
Well, according to the federal moratorium, that it remains in place. It says that they're not required to tell the renters about the protections that they actually do have. And it says the updated guidance from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and the Justice Department come as eviction protections in several states have expired. So some of them have expired.
Texas expired a long time ago.
Texas expired a couple of months ago. But it says that Congress so far hasn't reached an agreement on the next stimulus bill, leaving millions at risk of losing their homes. While purporting, to clarify the order, the guidance issued on Friday complicates it. It says that these late additions, because what they're doing is that they're adding additions onto it, to say, giving stipulations on who can pay, what can be paid, how long they can only pay what they can. And it says Congress right now is trying to redesign it to allow landlords to help their tenants. So
I guess the only negativity thing there is that they're not informing their tenants of their rights. But you can't.
Do you think but would you? If you knew your tenant owed money, hey Tanya, if you knew your tenant owed money, would you help them along and say, hey, you actually don't have to pay me right now because this is going on with the government?
I have.
If I was in the position, yes, I would. But that does not mean that if I am in the owner's position and I take the chance of losing my own home too, there's a business side to this and you can't negate it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you are a if you own rental property and you own multiple property and you own your own home, and your standpoint is to protect your renters versus your livelihood, that does not make sense. You got to put the mask on yourself before you put it on anyone else.
Even with the federal moratorium in place.
Let me answer, CJ, because I do own properties, multiple properties. My perspective is this. If I have a tenant that's been consistent, most of my tenants are usually between 3 and 5 years.
Okay.
I don't have seasonal tenants that come in for a year, bounce in 6 months and all that. So the tenants that are consistent and have been consistently on time.
Yeah.
If we have a conversation and they need support and help to get through, I know that it's just like a credit card to me. If I give you 500, then I give you 5,000, then I give you 20,000. If I know that you're good for your credit line, that you've been so good for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you've never been late, you've never missed a payment, and now we hit this space and time, and you give me your word that within 2 months, this is what I need to be able to catch up, or can I get any love? Then yeah, I have no problem. But if you have been before the COVID time already consistently inconsistent with paying me my motherfucking money, bitch, you're evicted, or you need to come up with some money yesterday. I really don't care.
Yeah. And that's the right thing to do if you can afford to do it. But what I'm saying is that because that's the right thing to do. But there are some property owners who also lost their jobs, who also are about to lose their situations too, and are going to have to make that tough choice. And some people have to consider that. You own multiple properties. It's a business for you. There are some people who moved out of their condo and moved into their new home with families, and this rental property thing is not necessarily the right business choice for them. And even if they have tenants that are doing well during that time, they could be in that position where they have to choose between their livelihood and their family.
Even with the federal moratorium in place.
Yes. Because if they're only cutting a percentage, think about the person who has 3 properties and they're only cutting a small percentage. That's still a lot of money.
So right? then you forego the emotional side of it and just strictly stick to the business of it.
Isn't that what you do
both
when
are
you're
saying?
at work and you fire people?
Well, you know, because sometimes you know, I guess you're right. I see it on both sides. It's
I see it on both sides too. Please, I'm not saying people deserve to be evicted. Let me make that clear. I believe that if you can afford to give your renters free rent until you couldn't is the key statement right there.
Yeah.
So I think if you can do it and you can help them, that means God blessed you and put you in a position where you can extend the olive branch to someone else. But that's like firing someone that you know has 6 kids and can't afford to feed their families without this job, but they're not doing their job. You still got to do what you got to do.
You know what was shitty too? And I saw this and actually heard this from some people. They were abusing the moratorium and pretty much like, you know, foregoing paying rent and then 3 months later leaving the property and going somewhere else.
Exactly.
Like, you know, many people did that.
And
a lot of people did
that. I thought that was so shitty. Because it leaves the landlord in the lurch. You know, it just leaves them out and out. Yeah.
My Aunt Carla
and they don't take care of the property because it's not theirs.
My Aunt Carla's out here right now. She owns multiple properties. She's one of those people with a humongous heart. She'll do whatever she needs to do to help people until you take advantage of that or until it puts her in a position where she's going to lose her livelihood. She has a responsibility. Right. You have to be able to sometimes separate business from personal. Doesn't mean you have to stop being human.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22. It's sad, but it is. You know, it happens.
Well, you know,
that's my apartment. They're gonna catch it 22 bucks.
Man.
Well, y'all know today is Amazon Prime Day for today and tomorrow, and I've already bought up a bunch of shit too because I just love Amazon Prime Day. But
well,
you know,
thank you for telling me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you get stuff literally 60-70% off everything. It's just great.
My birthday, so I'm going to go shopping for my birthday.
Amazon is not doing that thing where they mark up the prices and just put them back down. No, literally, what you saw yesterday was the price it was. It needed 60% up to 70% off of that, which I love.
Wow.
But anyway, it's
Did you guys give me birthday gifts today?
Yeah.
Did we order them?
So put that.
We
back
ordered them on the same site you ordered mine.
You know what? If I could have gotten into your birthday dinner.
Wait. Hold on. This is
drive fucking 20 miles to be kicked out of a birthday dinner.
Motherfucking fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, look. But this is not actually not a day to celebrate because it's Amazon Prime Day. A lot of the Amazon workers are boycotting this day and they're asking people to boycott this day. And it says Amazon warehouse workers and advocates will stage more than a dozen protests nationwide this week as the company holds its annual Prime Day, a 2-day shopping event on Tuesday and Wednesday set to do billions in sales. Anti-Amazon organization Athena told Yahoo Finance. The protests over working conditions and air pollution at the tech giant's vast warehouse network come as the global pandemic has boosted Amazon's e-commerce business, but also heightens the safety risks faced by employees. Now, in the news, it was reported that a lot of the Amazon employees were having to work while having corona.
Yes.
While having the coronavirus. Yeah. And saying that they were working in close proximity with other people who didn't have the, coronavirus, and that if they were taken off because of the disease, that they would lose their jobs and things like that. So Amazon is looking at unfair and work environments. And so that's why they're like, look, y'all can shop all you want to, but we're going to go ahead and boycott these next 2 days. I received a package from Amazon today. I had no problem with mine. I guess these folks in Pasadena.
When they deliver to me, they have masks, gloves. They put it out.
Mask, gloves. Yeah. Do you think it's a good idea for Amazon to boycott because of the work conditions, or do you think that there's another way that they can come to an agreement?
I need them to work. I invested in the stock.
I guess that says that.
I think we get confused because if you look at the people in that picture, they clearly look like they're in a different country. That's one. Two, it looks like they're talking about what's going on in the warehouses.
Gene, wait a minute. I'm so mad that you're talking about they look like they're in a different country. New York is the melting pot.
Is that what it said?
Yes. New Yorkers look like everything. Dominican, all that.
Where are they?
I am so mad at you for that.
Put the picture back up. Put the picture back up. Put the picture back up.
Gene said that, y'all.
I sure did. That's what the fuck they look. Where is that at? That look like they in India.
You know what? Okay, look, they look like it's Ethiopia. Okay, it looks like it's Ethiopia.
Let me tell you.
But there are
Where's
Ethiopians
New York
in
at?
New York. It doesn't say, but
That's
I
in New
took the
York?
pic. No, wait. Don't you see the blonde lady next to them? She look on the side.
No, I don't see her. I see somebody who got dirty brown hair.
I'm so
Really?
okay. I
do.
took the picture. I took the picture from a photo from in New York on the business.
I need
section.
to see that's in New York because I don't believe it.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
I don't believe it.
I
I
have
think that's a warehouse in India. I don't want to hear it being canceled like Rihanna. I mean that shit.
to everybody who's asking, Byron is eating oxtails and lamb chops. That's what he's eating. It came up on the feed, Byron. What was he eating? So he's eating lamb chops, and he said it's the perfect practice. You know, when you're eating oxtails, it's the perfect practice to simulate eating pussy. So I just wanted to tell you guys that Gene and I both had a look on our face that was in utter disgust, and I just wanted to let you guys know that
I was utter interest.
We do not think that eating oxtails is, a reminder of eating vagina.
Neither does he.
Come eat some of the oxtails I have. You will fucking suck the shit out of this motherfucker.
Like dick, not vagina.
Matter of fact, I won't even use a straw today because that requires sucking. I will go ahead and just drink my drink out of the glass.
Careful. Living the dream all right now.
Out of the glass. Thank you so much for that. If you eat pussy like that, I'm running. Well, Tanya, I mean, nibble, nah. Who is nibbling at my house? That's what the witch said in Hansel and Gretel. Well, like Campbell say, good. Gene, you know what? Since Byron mentioned these nuts, since Byron mentioned about having stock, in Amazon and money, let's talk about what these black folks are doing with their banks now.
Did you see that? I'm so excited about.
I'm so excited about that too. Yeah.
Young and Glover launched Greenwood, a black-owned bank. And can you
Killer Mike did it?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, it has not opened yet, okay, but they received tens of thousands of account requests in the last 24 hours. So people are supporting them. It's growing, and I'm really proud of them for that.
That is awesome.
I think it's so awesome. I think it is so freaking awesome. I think we need to keep doing that.
I hope that it grows to be one of the biggest conglomerates ever, and they're able to compete professionally with the other major banks, and that it makes leaves a really big footprint in the financial world. So
I think it's awesome. I really do think it's awesome, and I hope they don't do like what regular black folks do when they hike up all the fucking prices and make you pay over what you're gonna pay at the regular bank. I hope they don't do that because we as black folks, we do that shit.
Yeah, well.
All right, but look, I got some good news. So last night, did y'all watch Dancing with the Stars?
I didn't see it last night.
All good.
I got nothing but rave reviews about you.
I recorded.
It was. Thank you.
I recorded so I could watch them. It was.
Yeah, it was 80s night last night, and I was on about a good 5 songs, and I got to sing my favorite song of all time. Well, one of them. When I was a kid, I used to watch this movie called The Last Dragon.
Oh my God!
Remember at the end of the movie, feel the beat of the rhythm of the night. Yeah, so I got to sing that for Nelly. I got to sing that for Nelly last night.
That was on my wall.
It was
I got so many reviews about you, CJ, about you singing people's song better than they sing their own damn song.
Thank you.
I love the barge.
Yeah, there you go. And then it was funny because I sang a lot of white boy songs that people didn't even know it was me. Sometimes, like Claudia was like, "That was you."
Like the country song that you killed.
Thank you. Like, last night I sang "Take on Me." Take on me. I sang that, and I sang "Tainted Love." Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain you drive into the heart of me. Yeah,
did you do your voice like that?
I did, and I sang "Talking Away." Dun, dun. Oh, that's "Take on Me." I don't know what. And then I sang one more. It was anyway. Just tune in, go back and watch it. I'm gonna post it on my page tomorrow, so you guys can be able to watch it like I always do. So, the only reason why I mentioned it is because I had so much fun with that episode last night. Like that was just so much fun. Thank you so much, Tanya and Claudia. Claudia, like, it's so funny. soon as the episode was over, well, actually, Claudia was watching on the New York feed. So Claudia was hitting me. Oh my God, you sound amazing. This was you? That was you? What? So
Do you have a
it was
favorite?
just fun. My favorite was Rhythm of the Night because that was my song watching The Last Dragon, and the fact that I got to sing it on such a big platform, I was
You're gonna make me go back and watch the last. Who is your favorite on the show right now? Can you say that?
Yeah. My favorite on the show has to be this dude named Neve, and he's dancing with thank you, Miss Yancey. He's dancing with this girl named Jenna. So he's my favorite, and then my second favorite would have to be the football player. Shit, what is his name?
The big one, the one.
Yeah, yeah. No. The big that was the basketball player. No, the big one. He's what's his name? Claudia. Claudia knows. But anyway, he's my second favorite because he's really kicking ass. Like, but most of the time we get football players on there. They kick ass.
So could you imagine filming a robbery scene on your show and they don't tell you that the real police is coming?
Thank you, Dave. Vernon Davis. Look, Vernon Davis. Yeah, he's so dope. Like, or last night when I went, I was standing outside, right, and I was standing outside of my the dressing room area, and so Nelly came by, and what I had on was so dope. I ain't gonna lie, I studio day shit. I dress my, it's a studio shit. I dress my ass on studio day. But anyway, Nelly was like, "Hey, where you get? Yo, your fit is dope." I was like, "Thanks, bro." He was like, "Yo, what you got on?" I was like, just a little bit of Gucci, you know what I'm saying? That's it. But it was like in the 80s style. It was these striped pants. They were really dope, striped shorts. And so Nelly was like, "Let's go hang out." So me and him went to the dressing room. We were drinking, having a good time.
That ain't fair. Why you get to hang out with them and you can't hang out with us?
But I mean, because we all on set. We all getting
I don't want to hear it.
We all getting tested. 3 days. Let me tell y'all something. I'm getting tested so much. I feel like I've been snorting coke. That's how I'm just.
Wait a minute. Are they doing the nose test?
Oh, nose testing. Yeah. At first we were doing the.
I heard it's uncomfortable.
Let me tell you. It's to me, honestly, it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt in any way. It tickles, and I sneeze all the time. It just
not
me.
Snorting coke though.
Yeah, but and I ain't never snorted coke, but I'm just telling you, that's what you feel like. But no, it doesn't hurt. Now I have heard horror stories where people have gone to the doctor and let the doctors do it,
right?
And the doctors be getting all up in there and blah blah blah. No, we do it ourselves. They watch us through this little monitor, and we get on up in there, but. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me at all.
But my favorite person on the show, and I've been watching it like never, is you. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. Just so you clear.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Tyra had there was a green outfit Tyra wore last night. She had, the door knocker. She had the gazelles on. She had the Puma hat. Yeah, she brought the 80s back, and so it was
gazelles. I want those.
It was so dope. I have some gazelles. I do.
I need a pair.
Yeah, and but it was dope. So all of y'all who send me love throughout the show, I really appreciate it. Because it's fun to do. I know that this season you're not seeing us as much because we're behind the bubbles and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you, boy is happy and thanking y'all for the love and support. So there we go.
I need to go raid my Aunt Carla's closet because she got a pair of gazelles too and a
then you go ahead and go ahead
and Sterling.
Hey Jay, you were mentioning that CBS is suing over a robbery scene.
No, CBS is getting sued over a robbery.
Getting sued. What happened?
NCSI. Yes, NCSI.
We're not on CBS, y'all. We're on ABC, so I can talk about this all day. Go ahead.
They filmed a robbery scene in a real location, and the neighbors of the location called the real police, and the real police showed up and drew their guns on the actors in the robbery scene, and they were scared. It's funny, but it ain't funny, especially if one of them was black.
Because it was in New Orleans, right?
They were in New Orleans.
That's why them cops were like, "Oh, wait a minute, no, this must be real."
Yeah, and it got real for the actors involved. It says 2 of the actors involved in the scene, along with the jewelry store owner, have filed a lawsuit against Louisiana. Yep, for allegedly misleading them into shooting a realistic scene, armed robbery scene, without proper permits or giving cops and neighbors a heads up. The three men claimed they were approaching the NCSI producers in October 2017 about filming the robbery. And they did it without getting the proper.
Can you imagine actually if the police would have opened fire? Because they're thinking that this is actually really going on. But come on, cops, y'all didn't see the cameras?
Still.
Y'all didn't see the film crew? Come on, cops, really?
Still, I just thought that was the craziest thing ever. They put their lives in risk because whether they were black, white, or anything, they had on masks and machine guns. They were armed. They're taught to shoot to kill. And look, the actual owner of the store is suing too. Because he felt like he was in danger.
That motherfucker just trying to get some of that money. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. Get the money. Get the money and
get the money.
Close that shop and open up somewhere else or open up a franchise.
Could you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine because I've only had a gun pulled on me one time, and that was all I needed. One time was all I needed. I don't need that shit. Let me tell you. That was enough. And let me tell you how it happened. I was in a parking lot in Baltimore, New Jersey. I was in a parking lot in a grocery store in Houston, and there was a parking space that was available. And so I saw it. I was like, okay, shoot. I didn't see another car was getting ready to get it. So I pulled on it. And right when I was pulling in, this guy rolled his window down in Houston, did his gun like this, and said, nah, I'm getting that. I said, oh, it's yours, player. Hey, I don't need it. Go ahead. You pulled a gun on me for a fucking parking space in a damn grocery store?
I'm from the hood though. Like the hood though. Like really, really, really from the hood though. I've had a gun pulled on me by the police. I've had a gun.
Really?
Yes. When Cameron was about 7 weeks old, he was born in Atlanta. We were coming home from his second doctor's appointment.
Wait a minute, you done been worldwide. You done hit most of these. Oh shit.
I'm a gypsy. That's a different story. Anyway, we're pulling in our apartment complex. He's muted. Yeah, shut up. We were pulling in front of our apartment complex, and this car was tailing us from behind. And when we pulled into our parking space, unmarked cars swarmed on our car. Can you hear none of us?
No, this motherfucker eating food and dropping it out of his mouth. I guess his pushing skills ain't that great.
Clearly. And is that taco meat under your arm?
Not the meat of the taco. Not the meat of the taco.
Hey, that shit. That wasn't it.
Oh, shit. I was sitting there like, well, is it going to make it to his mouth or not? Because it's
no. But you know what? That's some senior citizen shit. You just want to admit it? But that's some senior. Think about this last thing. Think about that scene in Coming to America when they was in a barbershop. And he was, and Arsenio Hall was eating, and it was falling out his mouth. That's some senior shit. That's some senior citizen shit that motherfuckers ain't ready to admit yet. It's all right.
Oh, Lord.
Don't do that again.
Well, you know what, Byron, I do want to at least maybe we should go have breakfast with Byron on his birthday and get his senior citizen discount. Maybe we should go
that sounds
at Denny's. Let's go to Denny's.
When you go, I think we should go to Norm's.
I'll sit across.
They got a better senior citizen discount.
Norm's.
But you know McDonald's.
We can't hear you, babe. We can't hear you,
babe.
Wait, I think he gets McDonald's coffee free.
You do.
You know what? Both y'all kiss my ass.
Free.com is always good. AAR.
Not Miss She said AAR.
You know what, Miss Moran?
And you know, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, he get a discount at Ralph's too.
And I also think he get free pancakes on one of them days at McDonald's.
I'm gonna hit you in your head with your tequila. Keep fucking with me.
Senior citizens do that too. My great grandmother did that.
Oh yeah, thank you, Wendy. IHOP does give him a discount. I think they get a discount like every Monday or Tuesday, something like that for senior citizens.
Walmart has a blue special.
Let me tell you something. When I hit that senior citizen mark, I'm taking full advantage of every damn thing I do. I'ma just go for the fuck of it.
But in the meantime, we riding on this nigga's coat.
You riding, nigga. Keep fucking with me.
Dwayne, trust me. I know that Denny's are free on your birthday because I go every year except for COVID year this year. Wait a minute, don't do my bro like that. What did he say?
Birthday?
What is it? Don't do my bro like that. That he's 25 in spirit. He sure is.
3 times.
Keep fucking with me.
Quarter.
Look,
Why? You quarter, I'm deuce.
Not the quarter the deuce.
I'm just
Well, I'm pulling up for
mad.
the Trey Ward. I'm pulling up for the Trey Ward. You know what I'm saying? For the Trey Ward. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do right there. You know what I'm saying? Millennia all the way. Trey Ward. What to say?
Look, as he pouring another drink. See?
Let me tell you. I am breaking protocol, Byron. I'm drinking Crown and Coke today. So cheers, my brother, for your birthday week. Because this is how we do. Gene, what's in that cup?
Bailey's and coffee.
That's what I'm talking about.
You see, I said coffee. I said it the LA way. It was uncomfortable. Coffee.
Bailey's and coffee.
Because it's really coffee.
Yeah, I was just saying. No, you know, you sound like when you say that to me. You sound like Weezy. Remember Weezy on the Jeffersons? You'd be like, George.
No.
I want a cup of.
No, I'm not taking
a cup of coffee. George. All right. Here's another thing that I wanted to talk about with y'all. So y'all know that it is.
Did you guys look at the video for my birthday on my front page?
Yes.
Did you really just have a Tourette outburst and just? Who the fuck does that? Oh,
so no, he had a senior citizen moment. It is.
You know what? Both y'all kiss my ass on this senior citizen shit. Yo, we tell you had somebody as young as my ass in your life. Fuck y'all.
Remember that time in 76?
Oh shit! Come on,
we
you know what, Byron? No, Byron is the big brother.
76 was the bicentennial year. Fuck you.
I was born that year.
Sure is.
But you remember it, don't you?
But you know what? Ooh. Byron remembers when Good Times premiered.
Good times.
Anytime you need a pavement.
Good times.
Anytime you
I
need
want both y'all motherfuckers look this good at my age.
Lucky we got them.
I plan on, and if I don't, a good doctor will make me look as good.
Because I want to get old. Because if you ain't getting old, that means you getting dead. So high five to you.
That's so hell right, shit. and let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about us light-skinned folks out there. We need a little help. What? Now, don't be afraid to admit that because we need a little help. Look at Jasmine Guy. Okay, we need
over the aging process.
We need a little help. We need a little help. Like skin. I also want you to look at Gary Dourdan. We need a little help, people. So just in case, if you're scared to admit it, that black don't crack, it doesn't. But light sometimes ain't right. Okay, and it's okay to admit that because I'm telling you, the moment I start seeing some stuff do this, I'm going to get me a doctor so I can go back to this. Okay. I'm gonna come out there looking Japanese, but go back in looking Chinese. Hey, look.
I am curious about something.
What you curious about?
I have neither one of y'all motherfuckers talked about the Lakers winning.
Oh, that was actually coming up.
Are you kidding me? That was coming up.
Okay, just checking.
No, let's talk about it now. The Lakers won.
It was a blowout. Embarrassing. It almost looked orchestrated. To me.
Well, and let me tell you this.
Doesn't matter though, they won.
So LA is actually preparing for their second wave 2 of the coronavirus simply because LA won. The LA Lakers won. It was so many people. It was over 30,000 people outside of the Staples Center, out in the streets, out of downtown. It was literally like it was a concert. Most of them were unmasked. Some of them, they actually arrested 67 people. Because they broke windows downtown, they graffitied stuff. That was the stupidest thing to do.
But do you really think we're gonna have a second wave because of that?
Well, actually, I'm gonna tell you,
the
second wave is actually happening right now. It's at the beginning stages of it. Happy birthday, Byron, in advance. Senior citizen, my ass, like fine wine. You're getting better and better. Well, you know what, Claudia? It's always
fuck these two motherfuckers on this show. Claudia is gonna be you and me, girl.
Wait a minute. Go back to what Judith say. Hold on. Let me. Facts. Light sometimes they right. Yeah. You know sometimes. Wait a minute, Judith. I'm trying to understand your point here. Wait a minute. You throwing a little shade. You know what, Judith. But light ain't right.
Brown is all the way round. How about
tell you
that?
something. You know, But you know, I'm glad that the Lakers won. Everybody is saying that, you know, that was Kobe from heaven, you know, putting down. I'm gonna say this. I've never been a Lakers fan. Not just that. I'm just not a fan of any kind of sports. That's just never been me. I'm the theater person here. I'm the actor person here. I just don't care for sports. I will
Go back
go,
to
and every
Dwayne's
time I've went,
comment.
I've always been in the box. You know, I've been in the suite. One time I was right next to Magic Johnson. You know, hey, I'll go.
Me too.
You know, if I'm
Oh, we
treated
got
right.
floor clipper seats.
Yeah, she got floor seats, but you know, I'll go if I'm treated right. But I'm just not. But I will say this: I think it was just very good
Why you
for
got that look?
us in LA to
Jay
win.
Gray, why you got that look? He said he'll go if he's treated right, and he always in the box.
Yeah,
I
I'm
ain't
always.
looking at him because of that. I'm looking at Dwayne's comment. I want Dwayne's comment to
I
come
just
back.
wanted to know what box
What
CJ was
was
in that shit.
Laker Nation all day,
No,
damn
that's
Latinos
Dave
acting the
Culver.
fool. Oh, come on, Dave. It's not all
I'll
13
say
points isn't a
13
blowout.
points
Come on now.
isn't a blowout. Come on now. So you're clearly your team lost, Dwayne. So let me help you.
Well, Dwayne, actually that says common now, but I know you meant come on.
I know you meant come on now. Yes, it ended with a 13-point lead, but for the first half, they were looking stupid. They were like dying in the. It was embarrassing.
Well, Gene, that final transaction, the funds had to come through for them to kick in and win the game. You know that
Correct.
final transaction
Correct.
it didn't
They
come
might
through
not
yet.
have finished with the blowout, Dwayne, but the first half they should have just quit. Then they were moving like a damn high school team.
You know, look, I get them oxtails they done, huh? That lamb chop's good. You know, I said he picking that tooth now. You know,
You need a cigarette now.
Well, look, you know, I want to talk about this. You know that it is October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there's been a
How much is
report.
Breast Awareness Month?
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, sir.
Oh, cancer.
Breast cancer.
See,
And it was a report that came out. It was a report that came out that Winnie, do we have that?
Kyron
Yes,
Boobies.
Kyron Boobies, Lord.
Boats
Wendy,
and
can we go
hoes.
ahead and put that up there for the breast cancer? Yeah. And it says why Black women face high rates of breast cancer. And it says Black women are 40% more likely to die from breast cancer than white women. Black women are also more likely to be diagnosed at a later stage or at a younger age. Death rates for white women with breast cancer are improving more rapidly than Black women, according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. Research into the reason why these disparities is ongoing, but it's just likely that it's multifactorial. That's what Dr. Vivian B said, and she's the chief of breast surgical oncology at New York Presbyterian Brooklyn Methodist Hospital. Why do you all think that most Black women are, you know, getting breast cancer more than white women? Do you think it's because of financial? Do you think it's urban? Do you think it's where they live? Do you think it is hereditary? Do you think it's
I think it's a gamut of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find interesting is that they're talking. There's a huge class action suit about the use of talcum powder.
Yep.
And a lot of women were contracting ovarian cancer from putting powder in their crotches. Now I don't know if you remember, but as a little girl, you put talcum powder on your chest. You rub some of it under your arms and in your crotch. We were groomed to do that. Like
my mama. She would literally pour baby powder in our beds at night. So she said because she wanted us to wake up. Yes. She wanted us to wake up fresh. And yeah, I want you to think about that. Drawers and everything. Yeah.
If you were a mother, you did that with your baby at a very early age. That was a common practice, changing diapers, shaking talcum powder, rub it on their chest. So if they're saying now, and I don't know how factual this is, that's one of, think about all the habits that we created in the beginning, where we were told these were the right things to do, and now they're all of a sudden not the right thing to do, like eating margarine and canola oil. And I think it's a gamut of things that we were conditioned to do on purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And then the simple fact that we don't have the proper health care in our communities.
Yeah.
You can't figure that out early to correct it.
You know, I also want to say this, that a lot of Black folks were born in urban areas that were like the projects or something like that. And if what y'all didn't know, a lot of the paint that they were using in those days were lead-based, and a lot of those lead-based paints led for people to have health problems later on in life. And it wasn't that you just had to touch it or you just had it, just inhaling it. cause like health problems later on in life. So I'm thinking it's a gambit of things too. Those things. That is a good point, Gene. Because and when we were kids, you put baby powder everywhere. That was just
on your baby.
Yeah.
You groomed your baby all the way up until they.
Right, just stick with coconut oil. You ain't gonna worry about shit.
You couldn't buy coconut oil back in the day.
Then baby oil. You start with baby oil back in the day, and you elevate to coconut oil.
I just
shut up, fool.
Yeah, well,
that's all I can say. I don't have nothing in construction.
All right, to get to our main subject today, I really wanted to talk about, and I want to throw y'all this nugget. I want to talk about absent fathers. My father has been on my mind, you guys. My father was an absent father. My mama was both. My mom and my grandmother were my two parents in the house. And, my father just turned 61, I believe, on the 8th of October. And, he and I, we just don't talk. My new brother
that I like somebody, or you can not like somebody and love somebody.
I
hate your father. I hate your father. I don't even know the motherfucker. I hate your father, but I love him because without that little semen in his little dick, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
He's the canal.
And I'll tell you this. It's I was reading something on Instagram and it said like the two that he did have a hand, and I'm gonna say quote unquote hand because he ain't did shit for them either, but he was there. He had two that he was there for. And then my brother, my new brother and I, if you guys have seen my new brother, he just literally kicked us to the wayside. Now, within that, I have had family members who have taken side with him and, act like I did something wrong. Like it was my fault because I showed back up. You know what I'm saying? But we've worked through our issues. We've had our come to Jesus moments, but they don't stick. Like it's like he'll be cool for a little while and all of a sudden he'll go back on his thing and he and I have this big conflict, and I've never understood what his issue was, right? So my mother and I, we were talking one day, and we were talking about my mama. She apologized. She said, "Son, I am so sorry that's who I chose to be your father. Your mama is so sorry because he was so cool. We were best friends growing up. He was so cool. I just didn't think that he would turn out like he did." And then the second thing she said was, it may be because you are what he wanted to be. My father wanted to be a musician. He wanted to, he wanted to be in the band, and he had a band, and he was a great guitar player, and blah, blah, blah. And I've just these last couple of weeks, like he and I, we had a conversation about maybe a month ago where I kind of told him what I felt like, even though I've said it before, but I kind of put him in his place a little bit. And because he has, to me, no room to tell me anything. We can talk as a man to man, but when you try to do shit that like undermines me, that's why I have an issue with you. And so I let him know what time it was, and I let him know I didn't appreciate any of that shit. But what I'm saying is with this, it's like, even with my other brother and sister, not the new brother, y'all, that look like me. We're talking about my other brother and sister. That's my dad, like my sister. I'm his little girl. I'm like, he ain't dead.
Are they mixed race too? The other two?
Yeah. And so it's like we just all like it boggles my mind. Like the other brother and sister are just like, they get mad at me because I'm the one that turned out to be successful. Like I hate to say not my new brother, y'all, but my other brother and sister, suspect. You know what I'm saying? I don't even deal with them. I don't deal with them at all. But when I've tried to deal with them, it's always very argumentative. It's been lies said about me, like, I mean, atrocious lies that have been said about me. And when I've tried to be friends with them, it's always very combative. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't know what else to do anymore.
Well, because I know what's different than your family in real life? Nothing.
You know what?
Nothing.
You know what? No. Wait, let me answer that. See, I came from a family on my mom's side of pure love. On my mama's side, we all love each other. I have over 40 to 50 cousins, and we all still talk to each other. Like,
no. I'm not denying that. Stick with me.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why your heart is so pure is because your mama's side.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you're so resilient is because of your father's side. The bullshit that you had to deal with made you who the fuck you are.
Hold on, stop.
So many
Stop.
people.
I'm not trying to cry right now, motherfucker. Wait.
I know, but so many. We. It's natural for us to be resilient, repel, and defend and fight the part of our lives in which we have a distaste for. What I really appreciated in Jean Marie's conversation, which she's 25. I don't know what fucking age she is. We're just going to play with she's 25.
Okay.
But she just, in the last couple of episodes, made a statement. We let it go because it was a jump to something else. But it was a very powerful conversation. I just didn't dive into it, where she actually took the time to actually, and I've known her for quite some time.
Who is Jean Marie?
That's what I do when I want to get your attention. So it's the white version of you, Jean Grey. So Jean Marie, the white version, if ever she shows the fuck up, when she actually did it politically correct, that's where we're going. She made mention in the last 2 episodes twice about, in a very heartfelt way, for 2 different points that had nothing to do with the point, about how she came to really appreciate at this stage of her life her mother that she didn't a decade ago.
Okay.
I know her mother. I love her mother, but I'm not her mother's child. So it's a different relationship.
It is, yeah.
Her mother crazy. And I love that about her mother because she's definitely her mother's child. But you can't appreciate the evolution of the sanity in the craziness until you actually know their heart.
Yeah.
And she never really acknowledged that in my presence until the last couple of years. She's now speaking on it. She may have acknowledged it before, but she's really embracing it now. It's the crazy things, the things that we have a distaste for, the things that we don't like, the things that we don't necessarily have an appreciation for, that make us how extraordinary we really are. God's blueprint is already written. So I hear what you're saying in regards to that, but it is his bullshit that makes you the most extraordinary, one of the most phenomenal individuals I know on the planet. To see true bullshit and be so confrontational and straight up about who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Even more so, because without that part of the lineage, you would not be how transparent you are when shit shows up today.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, because that does break it down.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jean. Go ahead.
Daddy issues are a big thing. We all have them in some kind of way. Even if your parent was present, you have them to a degree, whether it's a competition level. And I had an epiphany not too long ago, because I look at how my mom's relationship was with men as I grew up, and I look at the absence of the fathers in my life, right? Because my mom's been married a few times. My biological father from the father that raised me, is a lot of fathers in place.
Yeah.
And sometimes in order to break generational curses, the curse of the person you need to break needs to be absent for you to learn how to do something different. Okay. And a lot of times
hold on a second. Please say that again for our listeners.
In order to break generational curses, the curse of the person that you need to break needs to be absent in order for you to learn something different to break it. Whether that's your mother or your father. And unfortunately, you won't get that until you're an adult. But and then because the odds of you getting it with them in their presence are literally 50-50. And what I mean that is, you can do one of two things. I could have looked at how my mom, all the things my mother went through, and said, I'm going to be that because those were the only choices that I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I could have looked at what she went through and said, I'm going to do the fucking opposite of everything she did. I don't know what that's going to get me, but I know it'll get me something different, which is actually what I did. How I handle my relationships with men, my relationship with my son, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my mother is the opposite of what she had with her mother, what she did with her family, what she does with men, and what she did with me. I had no idea where that was going to lead me, but it led me the opposite direction of her. Not making her wrong for that. I think that had she given me the opposite, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
I would be weaker. I wouldn't be as strong. I wouldn't have the set of eyes on my face.
Yeah.
I have now. So
can I stop you there? That was another issue of what my other brother and sister would view me as. They would view me as the weak one. And say that I was overly emotional, and I would look at them and say, "Y'all don't even know me." They would never even try to get a chance to know who I am. But what I would say was, my father for a long time would tell people who didn't know, would tell people, he ain't my son. I don't know him. And when I had this moment to talk to him, I said, "Why were you telling people that I was not your child? I'm trying to understand it. I look just like you, motherfucker. Like, why would you tell people?" And he told me this in his realest moment. He said this because I wouldn't let him have any outlet. He said, "You know what? I'm ashamed because your mother did so well." He says, every time people would see you, they would ask me, "How's your son doing?" Because they would see you on TV. They would see you doing something really good. And I would be so ashamed because I didn't have a part in raising you. I would just say, "Oh, yeah, he ain't that. I don't really know if he's my son or not." And he said, it was a shame thing. He said, and then he started crying. And he said, "You know, to me, in my eyes, son, you're up here and I'm down here. To this day, I still have nothing to offer you." And I said, "All I want from you is a friendship, bro." And he was like, "Well, I'm just ashamed because your mom did such an amazing job." And I remember in that moment, I saw him as a young man. I saw him at the age he was when he and my mama were friends. He became like this child. And he started crying and he says, "I apologize for everything I put you through." And I said, "What about the lies you told on me?" I said, "You told some serious lies about me." He says, "Son, I admit that I have." He says, "It was just all in protection of who I was trying to be, you know, and who I was trying to be for other people." He was like, "I just didn't understand." He says, "And I really still don't know you." He's like, I'm shameful to admit that I have a child in this world who's done as well as you have, and I don't know him." And that was the realest moment. But then right after that, he went right back to his same bullshit.
But that's the story. That's the story that's about. And here, if I may, if that,
go ahead.
It really is a deflective conversation.
Mm-hmm. First of all, he's very narcissistic. I have to tell y'all that.
And hence the gene or the DNA. A person who doesn't know you will call you narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's passed on, except for how it's. All these things are all interpretations of a definition.
Okay.
How you use it is totally different.
Yeah.
And what I'm inviting more so than you, CJ, because we have these conversations without speaking. It's really for the audience and everybody else. Yeah. What comes to mind is my most familiar conversation. I had a guy tell me this story, and that's why I interrupted and wanted to disrupt that thought process of interpretation where your father comes from and stand in a state of gratitude more so than being pissed off and angry.
Oh, that's where I am now.
I already know that.
Oh,
I'm clear. I'm clear. This isn't for you. This is for you.
Yeah.
So what I'm sharing is I had a guy, amazing kid, makes really good money, whatever that is. It's all relative, but in comparison. And he told me a story, and he said, my father ran off when I was really young with a babysitter, and my mother, she's had health issues since I've been born. And I'm really, challenged with the fact that I had to grow up really fast, and I raised and had to take care of my mom. And, and then I never had a father figure in my life. So I had to grow up. And if you look at his life, he's traveled the world. He's made, he has a business. It's a multi-million-dollar business. He is one of the most responsible. His credit is impeccable. His business is he sold one, built another, expanded globally. I was like, have you ever stopped to think and thank your father for leaving? You want to say you didn't have a childhood. Do you know how many people I know at 35, 40 years old that still aren't an adult?
Yep.
You know how many people I know at 25, 35, 45 still have fucked up credit because they didn't know how to be responsible? You know how many men I know that don't know how to treat a woman because they did not have a good mother and have to raise or take care of somebody in their life that was a woman and become a gentleman? Do you know that you are one of the most extraordinary individuals because of the circumstances that was blessed upon you? And instead of understanding that negative energy travels 11 times faster than positive energy, and you living and stewing in the bullshit story that will suppress, oppress, and keep you holding back from all the blessings still waiting for you to do for others, fuck yourself. Then stand in the space of understanding the story that was written for you to become and live the most amazing fucking life that most people will get a chance to experience because of the bullshit that was imposed upon you. Jean Grey wouldn't be who she was. The bullshit that's been poured on me, I wouldn't be who I am. The bullshit that came into your life. After a certain point, at what point do you take full responsibility and really stand in gratitude that that motherfucker wasn't there? So that's how come I am who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And thank you for not being, thank you for being that bitch ass motherfucker in my life, because now I'm that man.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna add to the, oh, I'm sorry, Jean.
You know, I think that I deal with a lot of things too from a father standpoint. And it was in my, probably in the last couple of years where I had to accept the reality of what it is. Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm gonna disagree with you, B. I don't think you need to know somebody to know whether or not they're narcissistic. It's
100%. I didn't say that.
But because you said that he didn't know him, but if he hasn't,
no, but I was saying that in a fictitious way, saying he didn't know him, but he really does.
Right.
The spirit moves without words.
I realized that you something you said, CJ, that was so key was, I just want to be his friend. But even your perception of what a friendship with him looks like is based on your point of view. Because some people don't know how to be the friend you want them to be, or the friend that you are.
And will never be.
And will never be. We, as young kids, we grow up and we create this picture in our minds of what a mother and a father and a sister and a friend and a teacher and a lover is supposed to be.
And a mentor.
And a mentor. Absolutely. And then we hold people to an accountability of a story that we've never even lived through.
And when they fall short, now that motherfucker becomes the crucified.
Correct. Like it took me a lot to realize that everything that I thought was my mother's weaknesses were her biggest strengths, because I know I probably could not have endured that, which is why God didn't let me endure it. He let her endure it. Your father was a conduit. He was the path.
He was the tool.
He was the tool. But the word father is so ambiguous that you probably don't even realize how many fathers have showed in your life.
Oh, no, I know. I know. Yeah, I'm well aware. I am so aware that I've had at 7 years old, a little boy by the name, we called him Boogaloo, taught me how to ride a bike. In 12th grade, a dude named Wade Wilson, and I will never forget any of these names. Wade Wilson taught me how to tie my first actual tie. In class, he taught me. My Uncle Arthur Ray taught me how to shave. You know, my Uncle Preacher taught me about game. You know what I'm saying? All these uncles, fathers that have been in my life. Oh, trust me, I give God full praise for them and for the wherewithal to know who he was placing at what position, at what time he was placing these people in my life for. You know, it took a lot of growth. And I will say this, like 2 years ago, when my new brother popped into my life, and by the way, y'all, we still best of friends. That's my dog. He just texted me this morning. He was like,
I remember it.
Yeah, he just texted me this morning. He was like, oh, no, he texted me yesterday, last night. He says, oh, I forgot, bro, you're at work. I just wanted to hear your voice and say I love you. You know, that's how he and our relationship is. But I remember when he and I first met, which was 2 years ago, I asked him, I said, look, the sister and brother that we both all share, I said, don't stop communicating with them, even though they have their thing with me. Don't stop communicating with them. And I said, and still, you know, be the brother that, you know, that's there and blah, blah, blah. And he says, why do they have such a problem with you? And I said, because I'm successful. And he was like, wow. And I said, because they don't know who I am. That's the only reason. And believing the lies of our father. So I said, you know what? Let's stop this. Call the sister. So we called her. Not the sister that comes on, y'all. That's the one. I love Tasha to death. That's not the one I'm talking about. This is another sister on my dad's side. So we called her. She went into this whole tirade of why she had an issue with me. And y'all, it was something this small to me. I understand it was big for her. But on the basis of where it came from, she had no grounding on it. Because when I broke it down to her, she was like, oh. And I said, yeah, this actually has nothing to do with me. But guess what I did? I apologized. I apologize for making and putting her or allowing her to feel what she felt. I said, I'm so sorry that I did, not if, I am so sorry that I did this to you. Knowing that I felt like I didn't do nothing wrong. But my grandmother always told me, it don't cost you nothing to speak and it don't cost you nothing to apologize, even if you know you ain't in the wrong. Because sometimes it's for the next person, not you. So I apologized to her. I thought we were on a great page. She went on ahead and we were just talking and blah, blah, blah. When she found out my brother and I, the new brother, we went to the zoo together because I wanted to meet him and meet my nieces for the first time. She blocked me from Facebook, went on there and said that, family ain't shit. Blood is this. And I can see the real who you are. Very, very subliminal. I knew who she was talking about. And it's been 2 years since she and I have spoken with each other. And I still am sitting here.
She was fucking with me.
Oh, wait. And I'm still looking at this like my feelings are not of hatred. It doesn't even hurt anymore. My feeling now is God bless you. I hope you heal. Because I know that your feelings with me has actually nothing to do with me. It all stems from the root of our Father. And I wish because she had a hard life growing up. She did. Both her parents, her mother, my father were never there. And she's only holding on to the little bit of love that she has and that she can get from anywhere. And I wish nothing but blessings and love to her. And I hope that she heals. And like I told her, as well as I told my father, I will not be your deathbed friend. I just won't. I will not be your deathbed forgiveness because we have so much time now. We are living now. We're in the best of our health now. I don't have time to be looking at you laying up on your bed and vice versa. I don't want to be laying up in the bed, almost getting up out of here talking about, go call my dad, call my sister. I want to make it right. No, because I know that I want to make it right with y'all now. What my aunt told me, and I'll be quick because I know I'm going long and on. I'm sorry for going long. My aunt, his younger sister, she told me, she says, Chris, I'm going to be very honest with you. Your father's jealous of you. And I said, what? And she says, look, you were the son that went out and did what he wanted to do. He wanted to be in the music business. He wanted to do all this stuff. And she says, not only that, you were the son that kept reaching back out to him. Your heart is so good. She was like, I just want to let you know that it has nothing to do with you. It's all on him. And I said, you know what? Forget all of that. I just wish the man's blessings. And from here on out, that's all I wish for him. I just wish the best for him. I wish that if he does, like I leave the door cracked. The door is always going to be cracked for him. My mother even had a suggestion. She was like, why don't you fly your brother in and why don't you, y'all all go to a cabin and all y'all just have a man-to-man talk? My mom was like, you pay for it, you take care of it. I was like, this is coming from my mom. Like the woman, I'll say this, she never spoke bad about him. She never told me anything horrible about him. She wanted me to always have my own conclusion. But what I have learned through this journey is everything that he wasn't there for. I've had some amazing men in my life to give me those things that I may have wanted in my father. Not saying that I didn't want, I wanted the relationship. I wanted the acknowledgement, but I had to learn and live with that. I'm probably never going to get it. And once I freed myself of that, it felt so good. And it helped me to really open my eyes to see the type of men that are in my life now that have been supportive, that got my back, that always called me, that encouraged me.
It.
Yeah.
You got it. Just not from him.
Just not from him. And I'm not going to say that's not going to always be a little hole in my heart for that, because it is. That's my dad. I'm human. But when I say that God has filled that cup up so much with decent men who have been there for me and who love on me and who talk to me and who counsel me, who mentor me, who just sometimes just call, hey, brother, just calling to see how you doing, just checking on you. That's the ultimate blessing that I feel like we as men, whatever age you are, is fulfilling. It really does, tenderize that hole in the heart. You know what I'm saying? It just makes it feel good.
I do want you to understand that the hole in your heart is stemmed from the perception of the role that you held him to, not to reality.
Well, okay? let me answer that a little bit.
Wait. You're human. What I'm trying to say is you're human. And so typically I get sad sometimes when I'm thinking about certain things I wish I'd had with my mom or my dad. But I remember that it's connected to the perception I held them to. My sadness comes from there. It doesn't mean that I didn't necessarily get those things. And sometimes I even realized that I had people in my life who could have gave me certain things that I didn't have, but I didn't want it from them. So I went without it. deliberately because I chose to.
But that wasn't the case with me, because growing up, I didn't have a need for a father. I didn't want a father. I didn't. Basically, I have to say he wasn't so absent where it was like, where's my dad? Because my mother and my grandmother literally took that place.
That's
I
not what
didn't.
I'm saying.
No,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
I'm hearing you, but I'm just telling you my foundation of how I got to the point of what you're talking about. When I became 16 is when I was like, I want to know who my dad is. And mom was like, okay. She took me over to my grandmother's house. Now, who he was to me was actually pretty cool. I didn't have a perception of who I wanted or thought him to be, because I wasn't groomed or raised in the fact of this is how I think a father should be, because I just didn't think that way. My mom, I really didn't. I didn't look at the Cosby Show and was like, I want Bill Cosby to be my. That's the kind of dad I want. I didn't have a perception of what a dad should be. I guess that's what I'm saying. Bottom line. So when I met him, it was just an open thing for me. I'm like, okay, well, whoever this is gonna be, or whoever this is, I'm just gonna roll with it. And so when he turned out to be the ass, then I was like, oh, you're just an indecent human being. Like you just, oh, okay, this is not. And then as I grew older, into my own understanding, it was then like, your actions are not that of a friend that I wanted, not of a father. I still didn't have that perception of a father, even though I've had cousins that are married or whatever. I never in my life looked at other people's dads and said, I wish my dad was like that, or I wish I could have had that type of dad. When he started being who I saw him to be, then I was like, you're just an awful individual. Like you just not, the hole in my heart came later on. It was at the turning point of when I became a man and understanding, like, you know what? You're not good for me. And I know that I wish I had you in my life, but you're not good for me. And you're not the person that I want you to be or need me to be for me. I know this sounds like perception, but hang with me. You're not the person that I want or need you to be for me. And then it became, okay, let me realize what is going on, who I have, and then I'll be good. Because I had uncles that,
Okay, yeah, I think I need to re-say. I need to say it.
yeah, reset it,
What
because
I'm
it
saying
wasn't.
is, I know I'm not saying that we have a comparison. Some people do, but not.
Mhm.
What I meant is you're not necessarily comparing him to a perception. You have a standard.
Mhm.
You have a standard of what you will accept as a friend. You have a
Yeah.
standard of what you believe even somebody how someone should move or connect with you as a parent. You
Mhm.
have a standard in your head.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that it's comparable to other people, or maybe perception isn't the right word. And I think what happens is when we get sad, we realize that that standard hasn't been met in here.
Okay.
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 So either that standard could be connected to a perception that you saw on television, which I know that's not what you're saying, because I didn't have that
Mhm.
either. But you grow up, whether you think you are doing it or not, you are creating a standard that a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, even if you don't have them, a friend should have, based on how you treat people and based on how you were treated or were not
Okay.
treated.
Okay.
And what happens is when we get sad as adults or children, we tend to realize, damn, our standard wasn't met. Does that make sense? It wasn't.
It does. It
And
does.
so it's a catch-22, because some of it does fall on perception and some of it doesn't, and that makes you
That
human.
works with my mother, not my father, though. It works with my mama,
You
because that's one who raised
let's
me.
pull the father standard out of the way.
Mhm.
You
Okay.
have a standard of what a friend should be, and he did not meet it.
Okay.
Okay, so even if you pulled him out of the realm of what you expected for him as a father, which I did that when I met my biological father, I had
Yeah.
no expectation of having a father-daughter relationship with him. I had an expectation of a certain level of respect, interaction, and I had an expectation of how he should interact with Cameron. If that standard wasn't met, then it made me sad. The whole gamut made me sad.
I get it now. I understand that. Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
that. I
Because
do. I get
you
that.
couldn't even meet the basic standard.
Mhm.
I
That
relieved
makes
you
sense
of
now.
I relieved you of what you should be doing, because I don't even
Yeah.
know what the fuck that is, because you never did it,
Yeah. That
and
makes
you
sense.
couldn't meet the basic standard.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's where our sadness comes from sometimes.
I remember a conversation he and I had, and I remember me asking him, I'm like, so do you really think I'm not your son? And he was like, and then when everybody, this was at a funeral, and everybody kept coming up to me and was saying, hey, is that, y'all look like twins. Wow, that's your son, right? And then I asked him again, and he was like, I know you're my son. I know you're my son. And when he spoke to my mother, I had never heard my parents talk ever in my life. And when I heard them talk, he became a little 17-year-old kid. He wasn't 17 when he had me. I'm just saying, I saw him at that age when he and my mom would play and hang out and things. And I looked over at him, and he's talking to my mom. Oh my God, he looks just like me. Oh my, wow. This is so, he's like, how you doing? It's so good it was a calmness that had. And I laugh at that because that was an excellent memory, because I, at that moment, understood him. I understood that with him comes all of the complications of being a human that was never given the permission to be. Because he was looking for something too from somebody, either from his father who was there or from somebody, and he didn't get it. He didn't get that he didn't get that value. He didn't get that pat on the back that said you're doing good. He didn't get that. So in his case, when it came down to children, he even said it for himself. He said, when I had boys, I just figured y'all will be okay. Y'all can do it on y'all own. Y'all will be all right. And I took that as, okay, now I understand you were not given the tools that you needed to help along your seed. So I can't look for something that's not there. You don't have that. That's not in you. And because I came along and came back at this child who I have an enlightenment on a couple of things on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I can speak it directly and not necessarily throw it in his face, but speak on it to his face, it scared him. And he wasn't prepared for it. He wasn't prepared for, I will say this. Thank you for saying earlier that he was just the tool, and what Byron said, the semen to get me here.
We always say the canal you rode in on.
Yeah. He wasn't prepared for a child like me. He was not prepared to have an insightful individual who could look at him and see straight through him.
You don't get that.
Say it again.
You are his karma.
Oh, I know what I am to him. I know what I am to him. And I know that he sincerely does love me. He's just scared to actually show it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. That's why I can go to him. I can look at him now.
No parent has a child and says, I'm going to wake up one day and be a bad parent.
Yeah.
Some parents, mainly men, tend to do this more than women, will say that their absence makes the child better off. I don't know where that thinking comes from. I don't understand it. And I'm not trying to right now in the last 30 minutes of the show, but I know that a lot of men will take that route, thinking that their children are better off without them, when that's really not true.
Mm-hmm.
But
Prince Michael, he said, I believe that you realized that you were seeking something that he would never be able to give you, so you stopped seeking it. To a certain extent, Prince, I would say that. What I did was, I know that he was incapable of giving it to me at this moment. Not to say that he won't be able to. Everybody can change or whatever. What I stopped doing was not seeking it from him. I just stopped, period. I just stopped. Everything that wasn't good for me that involved him, I just stopped it. Because that man is who he is going to be. You know, he's 61 now, and he is who he's going to be. Now, again, I said that crack is still open. The crack in the door is like our famous Nene says, the door is closed. Well, no, the door is not closed. There's always going to be a crack, because, again, I was raised in love. I was raised in forgiveness. I was raised to know that the people that do you wrong sometimes ain't got nothing to do with you. It's what they are dealing with themselves. You know, yeah. And even though we feel the sting of it, it ain't got nothing to do with us. And so the last conversation I had with him a couple of months ago, I was like, you know what? I love you. I remember the time he asked me, he said, you know, you don't have to call me dad. You can call me by my first name. And I was like, for what? You're my dad. I'm not going to call you by your first name. Just keeping his attachment.
Dynamic, because when I met my biological father, I refused to call him dad. I called him by his first name.
Did you?
That was I called him Ernie. It took me until he was about to pass to call him dad. But I didn't feel like I should have to call him.
I'm a drink for him.
I had somebody that I called dad already.
Yeah.
At that point. So that was my attitude at that time when I first met him. No, your name's Ernest.
That's yeah. No, I called him dad, and he
But
and every time I
grew
would
to
call him, he would kind of
dad
like
over time. I
yeah
had, so
yeah.
that changed, but
I
So
totally agree. I had a fucked up growing up. I had a great father and a great mother, and I'm still trying to figure out how to fit in. So y'all let me know.
so
Yeah,
so to the
both
listeners
of
that
them
are
fucking showed
watching,
up, and they fucking did everything for me. And
so to the
fuck that
listeners
dysfunctional. It's a
that are
dysfunctional fucking family. I got a sister, and fuck you too. Whatever.
what I'm saying is like, and trust me, guys, I'm talking about this because he had been on my mind, and I think about other kids that has not had either one of their parents,
yeah.
and how it does affect your growing up. And I know that it takes a strong-minded, strong-willed person to grow up in that type of situation and to be in some form a success. Like that's why I love Byron and I's relationship, is because I don't have to question or ask or just try to be something else around him.
Right.
To know that he as a man loves CJ or just loves Chris, like just loves me for all
Period.
of this and what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, and again, he's not a replacement. I don't want you guys thinking that. But I know that for young men like me, and I'll tell you about what I'm working on now, because I'm working on something that God gave me visually to help young men that are like me, that have grown up without a father, but some of them have not had the fortitude to navigate their way out of it. And some of them are still stuck. Some of them are going into gang violence. Some of them are going, and if you think about like even gang violence, and when the young men go into it, they're looking for a brotherhood. They're looking for that type of love that, even though it involves sometimes violence, but they're just looking for that type of love and brotherhood.
Belonging.
I learned, that longing. I learned that through my brother. I learned that when he told me that he was in a gang, he said that he was just looking for that type of brotherhood. He just wanted to belong. And when he and I met, I remember one of the first things he told me was, "This is all I ever wanted all my life."
And that's most of the catching bait to be able to bring people into the gangs, is to be able to give them their family. That's why the Mexican gang, familia.
They always like even the Mexican gangs. They always talk about the brotherhood. I'm down for my homies. I'm down. It's that connection that they want, and that they're longing for. And I just I know
it's not, and if I can, it's not limited to gangs. It's limited. I mean, it's across the board.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're right. I just wanted to use an example. Yeah.
You can be in a marriage and not and be an absentee husband and an absentee wife and completely detach yourself, completely dismiss the relationship, and feel like you're completely alone in a marriage, let alone the children,
Mm-hmm. And like I would say this, like sometimes when young girls are promiscuous, that don't have their fathers in their lives or didn't have their fathers, a lot of times that stems from that. And that's 100%. Why, I know we joke and everything, but I'm very cautious when I call girls hoes and stuff like that, because sometimes they just acting out on what they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking for, that's why a lot of the prostitutes have pimps, because they're looking for that father figure.
I'm gonna tell you,
they're looking for. Thank you, Dwayne. Yeah.
Cameron, both Byron and I sent both of our Camerons to Landmark.
Okay.
And
I heard Landmark was amazing.
It's amazing. And and here's why I did it. Cameron had a friend in middle school who this little girl in 6th and 7th grade was giving head in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But thank God Cameron was coming home and telling me, what's going on? Why is she doing this? She calls me. Da, da, da. He's not understanding it. And he's watching some of his friends take advantage of it, and where some people are mistreating her, and she was cutting her arms. And when I sent him to Landmark, there were girls like her in Landmark. And some of them said they were that way because they were abused. Some of them said they were that way because they were raped, that they had these things going on. And what was so impactful about Landmark is he was 13 at that time, and he went in a classroom with people from 13 to 18. So he got to see the gamut and age range, right? But it was a safe, controlled environment where people who are having issues can voice their issues, and he can understand why. I say that because when he went back to school, he was able to identify why certain kids were behaving a certain way without judging them. He was like, this boy's doing that. He's acting out. This girl's acting this way. And then I can have an effective conversation with him and say, well, if she's behaving this way, what should you do? How should you treat her? Because You can easily grow up as a boy and see somebody who's a freak and be like, I'm trying to fuck. Because she's easy to fuck, right? And I wanted him to understand why people behave the way that they did and have real life examples to identify from without being put in that environment to do it. Does that make sense? So yeah, you're right. People behave a certain way because of their environment.
Yeah. And you know what?
And then they have an interpretation that fucking is love.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a whole nother gamut in itself.
Yeah, man.
That's the only way I can get his
our
attention.
duty. I think it's our duty to be that person for somebody else. You know, I don't think we're on this earth just for our own selfish reasons. It's always to be an example for somebody else, whether through our gifts or just through our presence and being. That's why, you know, I know I don't want to convolute the two, but that's why we have, you know, a lot of Byron's listeners on here, because they do see that beacon that he is for those that he speak with and those positive affirmations that he gives. I think that those kids that are without the fathers, I know clearly that the Lord put me on this earth to go through those things so I can learn from and to speak on it and to give back to those young men who don't have it.
It's a responsibility.
It is a responsibility, because it took me a minute, and I would say this, took me a minute to realize that the things that happened to me are for me. Because in Jeremiah, it says, okay, so I got to go that deep. But go ahead, babe.
I think there's two types of people, right? There's two people in this world. One person behaves out of circumstance because of their environment, and the other person is clear as to what the consequences are to what their behaviors are and still choose them anyway. As if you're mentoring somebody, the advice is different.
Yeah.
If I'm mentoring somebody or a woman, let's stick with women, because we should do more women empowerment stuff. Not all women want to be empowered. Some people are always already empowered and know what the fuck they're doing. They want to know how to be empowered and doing what they're doing. Then some women are like, I'm doing this because of this. I don't want to do this anymore. There's two different levels of advice. There are certain things that I'm going to do, whether I think they're right or wrong. There's nothing you can say to me to stop me from doing it. Then there are certain things that I may not know that I don't know. Once you advise me, I may change my behavior. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that happens with anybody.
Perla, I have to help you out a little bit. She said, CJ, let go and let God. Pray for him and forgive him. You'll find healing and peace. I had to take responsibility for myself. Did you come into the conversation a little late, Perla? Because I already said I passed all that. That's a little done. Sorry to help you out. I'm only stating all this stuff to show you my journey of it. But as far as like let go and let God, yeah, we didn't already cross that path. That's been over and done. As far as like forgiving him, I already said that I do. That's ain't. This is not something that I wake up and go to bed with. I said he had been on my mind, and the issues that I was having with him came up, and I said, you know what? But it's good to know that I can still talk about it and not even get into a shitty place. It's just like, I can talk about it and be like, God bless him. Because what I said, Perla, and also in the conversation, I was like, I wish nothing but God's blessings for him. Like I wish him, the best for his life, and I do. I wish because I know for a fact that he tells everybody he has a son that's on TV. I know for a fact he tells everybody, I have a son that's doing this and doing that. I know for a fact he watches Dancing with the Stars every Monday. So, I know that he takes pride. And guess what? He can have that because he went half on creating me. He can have that. That's go for it.
You look at Marvin Gaye and you look at Tyson and you look at all the rest of the people that have gone through this on an extreme level. Yeah. And you tapped into it on Jeremiah. I will take it there as you tap into Jeremiah 29.
Yeah.
For I know the plans. I know the plans that I have for you.
That's my favorite.
Fuck what you're going through. Fuck what you think. Fuck your interpretation.
Yep.
Fuck your comprehension. This plan was written way before you were born.
Way before.
And unless you understand how to embrace the plans and the stands that are taken for you, hence why you need people to be able to pray in the gap for you. Stand and hold space for you. Hold you up when you can't hold yourself up.
Come on, Byron. Come on now.
Somebody, he always sends somebody. Fuck you think came by your semen and your blood. He's going to send who you need, when you need it, how you need it. And you have the choice to either stir in your past or embrace your future for why your ass is still here in the first fucking place.
And let me add to that, just like because I know it's not all about me and what my brother right here is reading. God sent my father somebody too
That's facts.
to help him.
He
ain't
said
by
people
himself.
before
God
you,
loves
too. You
God
just
loves
learn
my
how to
dad.
receive them.
God loves my dad equally like he loves me. And for those things that my dad didn't have without, whether he received them or not, God
Exactly.
is taking care of him as well. And I know that through that, I'm a part of that. So I can't be sitting around here looking like a mess and hating on him when I know that I have an assignment from our dad upstairs, from both of our dads. So that's
Exactly.
what I'm saying. It's all, and I haven't gotten here by myself. I've gotten here being around people like Gene, being around people like Byron, being around really people who have fed into my spirit to have helped me to understand, because God has sent those people to me. Now, whether I fought it, whether I'm like, nah, done all that. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. My dad is at the age where he hasn't had anybody to fortify him except for me. So that now that I'm being in there, it's like sometimes I'll get a text out of the blue. I love you, son. Just thinking about you. Out of the blue. It doesn't make me feel either way. It's just saying that I know God is working through him because I prayed for it. You know, so nah, I wish the best, but I do know that one of my assignments is to help young men, you know, get over these kind of things or either work through these kind of things.
Yeah.
With with the absence of not having a father. So
And you got to be ready for what you pray
yeah.
for. Because when it comes to my mom, I prayed for her so hard. I remember the day I decided that, okay, this is never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I said, this is never going to happen and you need to move on with your life. And then God fooled the hell out of me and said, oh, no, this is happening. And when it happened, I was upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not ready for this. I wrote this off. I don't want it now.
Yeah.
And if I can stand behind, and I'm sorry, Jay, go right ahead.
No, you're good.
Because I mean, what we're talking about, I mean, as you bring in scripture, because then you get into whether it's Orthodox, whether it's
mm-hmm.
King James and all that. But if you go past all the bullshit,
yeah,
and you go into why Jesus was the Word before he became Jesus, and you can see what you need to see that the Holy Spirit will talk to you about, and it's amongst your own discernment, your own understanding, your own comprehension and interpretation. Why one of my favorite scriptures is Philippians 4:6-7. And then Jean Grey just tapped into it. It's like in nothing be anxious.
Come on now.
In nothing be anxious, but in everything by prayer and by petition with thanksgiving, meaning stand in gratitude freaking always for everything that happens to you. Let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, the peace. That's all in every relationship, business and personal and intimacy and everything. You can say that the toes curling, the toes throwing up gang signs, the greatest sex, the greatest blowjob, the greatest eating out, the greatest vagina screaming and shit. At the end of the day, the person who writes the check, the person who's buying the Gucci bag, the person that bought the house, the marriage, and all the bullshit that comes with everything that comes, the job that you got, the millions of dollars. I was more happy when I had no money than I had all the money that I've ever been able to acquire. In all of that, every person wants more than anything else in their house. They want peace.
Yeah.
And in peace, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your thoughts in Christ Jesus. It's a real simple scripture.
Yeah.
But the truth in everything she said, it was in that conversation, in that prayer, in that thought of just what I prayed for. It never, ever, ever, ever shows up the way you expect it to show up.
Or when.
You know, it was another one in John 4:20, and it says, if anyone says I love God and hate his brother, he is a liar. For he that loves not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God from whom he has not seen? And here's what, it was so funny. I remember when my sister, the one that I wasn't raised with my dad, and she posted that stuff about me, and I'm sitting here like, and she always posts about, I'm God's child. God has me, scriptures galore. And I remember sending her that message and saying, now you've seen me. I'm here on the earth. But how can you love God but not love me, which the one you see? Like, how you say you love, but when the scripture said, if anyone say I love God and hate his brother, he is a liar. So wait. If it says he is a liar, then that means that he's lying about not loving me. Y'all didn't catch that, did you?
I caught it.
You caught it? Because I'm sitting here like, if you say you don't love me and like me, but you love God, you a liar. Which, if you're a liar, that's meaning the opposite. You actually do love me. You can't. I ain't gotta say no more. Anyway,
Well,
but go ahead, babe. Gene.
No.
Because think about it, it's like whether it's your brother, your mother, your sister, your lover, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Why do most relationships get disrupted? Is because there's somebody in the equation that is bringing lack of peace.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what relationship you have. Motherfuckers sit up there and they're like, well, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do to love this person. I'm doing this. I've done that. There's something you're not doing or something you are doing that is disrupting their peace.
Yeah.
And you never sought out how to bring them peace. You sought out what your agenda was to be able to bring them what you thought.
Yep.
Hence, that takes out the servitude right there in itself. You're serving self. And serving self, you'll always come up short in the deficit common.
Always.
So,
you know, and I guess another reason too, Byron, well, I'm glad that you're commenting on it because, believe it or not, and I've watched you. You are a father to many. And do you realize that though? Do you realize that? You know, you are a father to many. It's a lot of them, men and women, who look at you in that way. And I'm glad that we have this show so y'all can see a different side of your dad. You know,
careful with that name. He might hear something different. He be like, "Oh, daddy."
You know what I'm saying? Daddy, snatch your hand, pull you back. Say it again.
No, not that, daddy. See?
You know, so I'm glad that we talk. I have never talked about this on a public level. Like I've never talked about this, but I just felt like tonight, outside of myself, somebody needed to hear that, and somebody needed to understand that as humans, this is what it is, and this is what we go through. It's not something that's a hindrance to me anymore. It's not something that, breaks me down anymore. I found such a beautiful blessing in it because I know that when the word speaks about, I knew you before, like God knew me before I was even in my mama's womb. Like he knew who I was. If any of y'all read The Shack, there's a sentence in there where he says, I heard your voice before. To think that God even knew what I was going to sound like.
Exactly.
He knew everything I was going to go through and going through. And to know that we serve a God who is going to have my back, now I can cry on that.
I'm telling
you. Man, and that's worth crying over.
It is to know. Okay, we ain't going to have no more crying sessions because that's
nope, we're not. Not tonight. I ain't running my makeup. Not tonight.
But to know that the things that we go, because Jeremiah then applies to everything. Everything.
If you take Jeremiah, tie it to Philippians, and then take it to Proverbs, trust in the Lord. Trust in who? Not in yourself. Trust in Daddy.
In all thine heart.
All thy heart. And lean not on your fucking understanding, on your comprehension, on your understanding.
In all thy ways.
Because everybody wants to sit up there and cop a plea with this is what I understood. That's Nobody asked
asked you what you understood, but go on.
So to all
go on.
So and I'm
he's like my big brother too.
So to all the young men out there, to all the young men out there who have had maybe an issue, have not had a father, I'm gonna tell you something. Keep on living. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. You have to make the choice though for it to get better. You have to choose
to your environment because
you have to choose
for that figure.
Yeah, you have to choose.
You just don't want it from them. You want it from that other person. That other person isn't capable. Take it where he sent it.
Yeah, and know that God gonna have your back on it. Like he's gonna have your back on it. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing.
I know that God sent me my Aunt Renee, my Aunt Carla, my grandmother, my Auntie Lily, she sent me all of those women to take care of me while he was working on her. And how dare you not give that grace? Right? He's like, you need one mama, I'm gonna send you 5.
Yep.
You will not be without. And that's facts.
Yeah. So, and then while you even working through your stuff, work through it while you're being fearful. Work through it while you mad. Work through it, because once you work through it, the other side of that, it's some blessings for you, bro. I'm telling you now. So y'all young men out there, it's some blessings for you. Look at these people I do the show with. It's some blessings for you. When you pray a sincere prayer, when you pray the prayer of Jabez, and you ask the Lord to increase your territory, it's a whole it's a whole different life, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's a whole, and I'm crying because I'm a witness of it. I stand in it. I know that all the hurt, frustration that you feel that you don't understand, even when it's coming your way and you can't understand it, God is going to take care of you on the other side of that, because he knows your heart and he knows what you need. He knows what you need. So make choices for yourself with hearing the word of the Lord.
Amen.
Make choices for yourself by his word, so then that the next part of your life is so much better than how you began. He already tell you he gonna give you back everything you lost. He gonna give you everything back you lost. So just
what you taking us out with, CJ? What you taking us out with?
Well, you know, Byron got to do his thing. He got to give acknowledgement to the people. Lord, he got to give acknowledgement to the people.
Why you get it together?
Yes, Lord. So, yeah, buddy.
Give acknowledgement to the choir.
Yes, Lord. Yeah.
Well, come on, B.
Come on, B.
Ruben, Prince.
Look. You were starting to go there too, huh? He said he would give it all back to you. Come on, B.
Come on. Sometimes you got to take it away to make room for that other stuff.
Hey.
It's my birthday week.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Everybody needs to look at my page and go see what I said. Do not put happy birthday on my page, please.
Why can't we do both?
You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, Jay. But
I knew that already. It's okay. I knew that already.
You know, you can do both, but if you just do one and just put some shit on my page, motherfuckers are suspect to being deleted.
Got it. You ain't deleting me. You can delete me if you want to. I will knock on the door. Open this door. Thinking you deleting motherfuckers. I delete myself. You don't delete me.
You know what this reminds me of? You remember that Coming to America when the man fell down the stairs and he was like, "Hey, Prince do, motherfucker." And I'm just playing that falling down the stairs on me. You hear me? You conscious?
That is really me and me too, for real. Motherfucker.
Ooh, Lord. Yes, Tanya. Yes.
Jesus.
What up, Ruben? We missed you, man, lately. We know you've been out there doing your thing.
Ruben been grinding. Tanya, we thank you always for coming on.
My aunt Renee.
Byron, look, it may be your birthday.
I'm sorry, I was caught up in a thought. I'm gonna share it next week, but
yeah, I'm gonna need you to come back.
Come on, like Oprah Winfrey and the women of Brewster play. Come on back. Come on back.
Sound like an old slave movie. Come on back. Come on over here yonder.
Come on.
Come on yonder. Don't do it. I can see the longevity and whatever it is you was thinking.
All right, so I'll wait till next week before I bring it to the table.
Oh, wait a minute. Look what Perla said. If senior citizens be looking like Byron nowadays, I mean, yes, I do the cleaning. Yes, I do the cooking. Well, do you do the gardening too?
What else do you do? Do it all.
I love you, Claudia, bro.
Claudia said, I went to the post office for you today. For you, Byron. Wow. Well, damn. Well, Claudia, did you buff out his shoes and shine his car? Damn.
Well, all righty then.
Well, hell, I need a sandwich. You gonna bring me one by, Claudia?
Man. All right.
Nancy, I heard you go wild with the oxtail, so don't be no stranger now.
Seriously, I didn't get my oxtails, Erica.
She got that's because nobody can get into the kitchen.
Watch me get into the kitchen. I will get into the kitchen.
I didn't get into the restaurant.
Wow.
All right, well, take us out.
I'm still thinking. Okay, so we have Miss Moran.
Hi, Nasha. That's my childhood friend, by the way. So,
oh, it is?
From 6th grade. That's how long.
Wow.
Damn.
It's my sister.
I don't think she added me. Yes, she did. Then we have Serena. Then we have Miss Yancey. We have Devin Bradley. And we got Fat Nay. We got Ruben. We got Tanya Farr. You haven't added me, Tanya. What the hell? I've been asking to be your friend, and I don't ask nobody to be nobody's damn friend. Claudia, Ruben, and Prince Michael. What's up, fam? And we got Alicia Ross. We got Kennedy Farrington.
Ryan.
Kennedy.
That's my Aunt Renee.
Yes, she loves you. We got Dave Culver, my man. We have Judith Allen. We have Michelle Missy White. We have Perla. We have Dwayne Mitely. We have, okay, I got to go up here now. It's some bullshit. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
We got Lady. We got Nicole. Hey, Nicole McClure. We have,
Hey,
right? We got Caroline. My big man's Lydell. We got Peter Anthony.
Pizza.
We got my boy Jason Wilds out of the East Coast. We got Lisa Velasquez. We have Carla Thompson Stevens.
That's my Aunt Carla.
Hey,
Byron, Tanya says she does not have a friend request from you.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll make sure. I'll go back. I probably canceled it after 3 weeks. I'll go back and put it in. We have Natalie Monica. That's my baby out of Canada. Natalie. We have Tanya. We got Janice. What's up, Jay? We got January Curry. We got Giovanna Williams. She hadn't added me either. We're going to have to take that one off. Diane Kane. Daylene. What's up, girl? We got Alicia Curry Norwood.
That's my sister. Hi, sis.
We have Patty. We have, this is good. We got Sharon Fletcher from day one. We got Javier Antonio Gonzalez.
Nice.
We got Elsa de Sousa. We have, who am I missing? Sherian Afua. We have Rudy Williams Tyson. We got Lady out of Colombia. We got Ryan Gross.
Hola, mis amores.
We got Tony Tron. We got Niha.
Love.
Let's see if I'm missing anybody that I can find still, because we got to do this earlier. Dorel. We have Monique Davis. We got Patricia Morgan, my baby. Yes, we have. I think I got everything. If not, you can put yourself in the comment right now and just say hi. So if I missed you and you would like your name mentioned, because we want to acknowledge you. We want to acknowledge you. Dwayne said, my bottle is in the mail. Thank you, Dwayne. This shit better be good, boy. I tell you, you never let me down.
My bottle's in the mail too, Dwayne.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, I think Ryan. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Ryan. Brandy, that's my baby right there. Brandy. Who else we got right there? Tracy, and
that is Queen Sika.
Oh,
Queen Sika. Yeah, you know, she only comes on as Queen Sika, yeah.
50 years later, she got a new name.
Not 50.
You know what? Shut up, fool.
Nani, my baby out of New Zealand.
Hello, Nani. Bonjour.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Speaking to you,
Oh,
old
no,
chap.
that's Switzerland. Sorry.
I don't know what that is.
My Kiwis and my Aussies on, so.
No, hello. Well, no, that's
Hello.
No, it's
Linda, Linda's on there. Linda Castillo Kinslow.
Listen, Linda.
Listen.
Sharon wanted everybody to know Mercury rising has already effectively
Yes, Lord, we know.
I mentioned that earlier today in the beginning of the show.
This
yes,
moon
Lord.
sign, this moon child knows, Sharon. This moon
Ricardo
child
from
knows.
Chicago. Ricardo Sanchez. He says saludos from Chicago.
Saludos.
Hola, mis amores.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
We had a taco on the last few Tuesdays.
I know we need to have one.
But you sure had something to eat.
Adia's on there. Hey,
I actually do have a taco.
Adia's been on there from day one. She's on there. I want to make sure I'm not missing nobody.
Claudia going to the post office for you and shit.
Right?
Hey,
I didn't get a post. No kidding.
you know what?
Claudia, I need some stamps.
Hey, y'all need to look at my front page. Did you, CJ or Jay? Now look at my front page.
I
No.
did.
Did you watch my Facebook Live?
I didn't watch the video.
No.
I just read it.
Motherfucker,
What the hell?
I have been working like an Egyptian.
I've been working too on this plant. I'm back on the
I
plantation.
ain't no Hebrew slave. Nah, I've been working like an Egyptian.
You know, when I'm on a plantation, it requires focus so master don't hit me.
But you know what? I will look at it before I go to bed tonight.
But I will look at it.
You. I want to do a special going in November. I want to do a spin-off of this.
I support you always, so don't be getting on me by
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And when you call, I'm coming. The fuck?
I'm coming
Out.
So I want to do a spin-off. I haven't figured out how to finish it yet.
Spin off of what?
Of what we're doing with the three of us hosting in November. And I'm saying it so that the audience can hear and possibly feed in.
Got it.
So I definitely want to include Miss Yancey, and I come up with 5 more. Here's the tag. I'm going to give it to you so we can see how we could tie them in. CJ, on one end, what I want to do is how we actually raise up men to share what we share.
Yep.
I haven't figured out the right tagline for that yet. But for women, because my platform has always been women's empowerment, has been how to become a predator versus prey.
Mm-hmm.
And have 7 women in rotation for it, which is going to be amazing. So Jay, you're going to help me coordinate that and be the madam of corralling that. And I want it cross-pollinated.
Not the madam.
So it's not just
Really, man? You gonna throw that out there?
Not the madam.
Work with me. You know what I mean. You have the leadership to man. So I already know that's an amazing topic in which I want to do that you and Miss Yancey can help me manifest. But I want them to cross over. So I'm planting the seed so you guys can think about it. Is everybody what you got with me on this?
Yeah.
So I'm sharing it with the audience, and we're going to do this in November. And I'm really excited about it, especially the latter part. But I really want to tap into, not just from a women's perspective, but CJ, us being able to raise up a platform for men to tap into it.
Yeah.
For that demographic of sharing what they need to understand and know on a whole nother level.
And also to the women that are married to men that had absent fathers, let me tell you this. Don't try to change him, and don't try to dig into where he's not open. Just communicate more and just talk to him more about it. He'll open up, but just talk to him more about it. You know, just don't force it. Don't force it. Yeah.
Anyway, something to stew on. And I encourage you guys all to go and look at my page when y'all get a chance. My birthday's on Thursday. A lot of people have been sending me happy birthday texts and this, that, and the other. If you're going to send happy birthday texts, know when the fuck my birthday is. It starts on the 15th and ends on November 15th. The post is so motherfuckers don't blast my page. If you know me and you're a friend, I think it's so insensitive, it's so informal. I'm not gonna go and say, oh, thank you, oh God, thank you everybody on fuck my page. If you know me, if you don't know me, then you don't know me. If you want to know me, then say that. But if you know me and you're just putting up there on happy, I hate that. I just hate test. So that's the essence of the message, more so that there's more to it, obviously. But I really dislike the informality of the world we live in the social media of motherfuckers thinking they can put on your page happy birthday and think somebody's going to acknowledge you for actually saying it once a year. If you can only come up once a year to say happy birthday, fuck you. Get off, delete yourself, and I don't need to know you. That's just the way I feel. You know, it's like, or send a text that is heartfelt, fucking write a handwritten card, do something that's personal that somebody's going to actually acknowledge. I'm not going to acknowledge social media of somebody saying happy birthday to me. It's just not going to happen. Yes, I am that different motherfucker, and I don't give a fuck.
Okay, never mind.
So it's just, I'm so beyond that shit. It's like the evolution and elevation and elevation. And yes, I'm that weird motherfucker. I'm not here to be liked.
Where's that weird motherfucker? And finally, I'm chiming in.
Yeah. I am so not here to be liked. So anyway. We love you. We thank you on behalf of myself, Jean Grey, Marie, depending on the day, and
ain't no day. Who the fuck is Marie, man? I ain't never answered to that name. I'm not about to start today. Jean Grey is the white version of Jamila Firestone. We can't get any whiter than that. No, we're not. I'm not adding another white lady to my repertoire. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I already got one. I don't need to. It is what it is. Enough of us motherfuckers. Sorry, Marie, bitch.
Jean Marie. I was like, who is this one?
I was like, what the fuck is that?
You know what?
No, I didn't. I want to know who Jean Marie was. Until you started talking, I didn't get it.
You don't remember in the beginning when I did that?
Yeah, when you did it.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out like, who is Jean Marie.
Let's keep
no, not in this show, but before, in the very beginning when we started the show. Remember I was fucking up like that?
No, I don't.
And I'm the old motherfucker. Fuck you.
Right.
I don't know. You goddamn memory blank.
That was some old motherfucking shit.
Yeah, no, you goddamn fuck.
Gray is originally a white lady.
No, Leland, he's singing. We haven't even started yet. He's about to close out right now, Al. Hey, my brother Leland is on here. I gotta get him on the show, by the way.
That reminds me of Esther. We told you goddamn much.
Motherfucker.
You went straight southern with that one. You goddamn much.
That is as white as you gonna get with that shit with G.
That's it.
Anyway,
Marie, he gonna add another white lady to me. Leave me alone.
Hey,
fuck alone. Hey, shit. Jean Grey is.
That's my pearls. Leave Jean Grey out.
I love Jean Grey.
All right, so y'all can bring the motherfuckers back into the house if y'all want. All y'all baby kids and shit. We're gonna have CJ, all y'all nasty old grandparents that don't like the way we talk and curse. You bring all them motherfuckers back, and we're gonna let CJ just close us out and really just, go get some fucking tissue. He's about to sing to you.
Oh my gosh. I've been so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs and I've made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life on stages with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone now. And I'm singing this song to you. I love you in that place where there's no space or time. I love you with my life. You're a friend of mine. And I forgot the rest of the words. I was trying to do the cut version of it, the bridge version.
That's okay, baby. You could have sang "Ring Around the Fucking Rosie."
Baby, can't you sit through me? But we're alone now, and I'm singing this song to you. Okay, I'm gonna actually have it better for y'all next week. I just forgot the words on top.
No, because we can sing another motherfucking song.
You forgot the words.
Wait, what are you trying to say? You forgot the words in the motherfucking song?
No, because I wrote the song.
You do 10 songs on Dancing with the Stars. Sing another one.
You know I wrote the song, Ike. Oh, that's right. You wrote the song, but you can't remember the goddamn words.
Somebody, hey, where you going? This ain't Flower.
Sing another song.
Okay, I'll sing another song.
What's love got to do when it came out?
Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon. Past the infatuation phase. I know I've misbehaved and you've made your mistakes, and we both still got room left to grow. And though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first, and we'll make this thing work. But I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Hey, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Oh. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Oh. This time we'll take it slow. There you go.
Hercules!
Hercules! No, but I'm gonna do the Donny Hathaway song for y'all next week. I promise I will. I just forgot.
Well, we love you. We don't care what you sing. Like I said, you can sing the jingle to Chick-fil-A if there even is one.
And,
I would be
and,
happy.
and collectively, every thank you, Prince Michael. Collectively, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Pa, 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 pa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Yes.
So that concludes the show, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for tuning in, and we love on y'all like you love on us. And don't forget, if you have our brother's number personally, text him then. Don't you put that on Facebook, because you will be rejected.
And don't nobody post his number on Facebook either.
Don't you post that number, I'll tell you. You better not do that either. But we thank you guys for tuning in. We're sorry again to go over 2 hours. We're sorry, y'all. We didn't need to. But we thank y'all. We love y'all. That is what a senior citizen looks like. That is the age of wisdom, y'all. Right there. Right there. 97 years young. 97 years young, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
Benjamin motherfucking Buttons.
I'm telling y'all. I want to get there. All right. Anyway, we love y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Now cut the damn thing off.